If we went back in time 3 or 4 years and someone said, oh, what would happen if the Strait of Hormuz was closed for 1 month, like fully closed, nothing comes in, nothing goes out. Plus there's fields in the onshore and offshore in the Middle East that are choked back or shut in. Where's the price? I've been on for quite some time on the channel about China and China's maybe huge stockpile of oil, maybe the biggest in the history of the world. And that stockpile, inadvertently or not, may be saving the paper market at the moment, who knows. And it may be why people in Australia still have fuel products available. Because China may usually import around 10 to 13 million barrels a day of crude. And that may have dropped off since the Persian military operations began to around 5 or 6 million barrels a day. Now, if that is the case, that's a fairly substantial amount of barrels to be maybe back out on the market. And if China decides to pull the rug and go back, stop drawing down their stockpile and build it back up again, that may be a very interesting session on the oil markets. The question why, and I've said this on the channel before, there's such a big stockpile in China, I don't know, who knows? Well, as with Germany in World War II and World War I, they may suspect full well that if anything goes down with a big war in North Asia, there could be a blockade. So any seaborne material may stop getting to Chinese ports. As the countries around the world are drawing down their SPRs, I mean, I think the US has been very smart the way they've done it. It looks like it's a swap. I'm not sure the ratio, but for every 1 barrel that goes out of the SPR, it may have to be 1.2, 1.3 barrels come back in. I'm not sure what it is, but it is something like that. If the politicians in Australia, the regime in Australia now, had half the foresight that the US and the Chinese governments have, Australia may be in a much better situation. Instead of having to go on perhaps a fuel begging tour of Southeast Asia. And we need to remember that a stockpile or an SPR, yeah, it's good to have, but at the end of the day, it's not an oil field. It's not a producing well. It's a X number of barrels that may run out in time. So sooner or later, and across the world, all these SPRs are going to have to be refilled, and those barrels will have to come from somewhere.